Coach, let's talk about how did, this came about? Because our impression is you're in the States. So did you apply for the coaching job for FEU? How did it come to fruition?
So I don't know if a lot of you guys know I've been back to the country back during Thanksgiving break, and before that was there helping out with talking text for 2 weeks with my best friend Joe Loss. So while I was there in the country, and I was able to go watch a couple of UAP games with my other best friend Dickie Backman, and while I was attending one of the games, boss Anton Montanola sees me at one of the games and he wanted to have a conversation with me. The original ideal was that I would come in and be kind of like a player development. And I was very intrigued with that opportunity. We just didn't have a real set plan how to make it work. But we were originally set and talked about coming in being like a player development, working with the lower level teams, the high school teams, and then also the men's team. So we ended up having a meeting before I left back to the States during Thanksgiving break. And they brought in the heavy hitter. They brought in no other than Johnny A to come have a conversation with me to try to send the deal in. So once Johnny A was in the meeting, it was like pretty much, what do you need me to do? I'll make it work. I just got to take care of some things here in the States. So it was pretty cool. So then what happened was during Christmas, I had a meeting with Mark Molina, who's been amazing. By the way, Boss Anton during this whole process has been incredible, only second to WSU, Wilfred Uitensu, when it comes to being straightforward and being very communication-wise, open with me about the whole process. So I met with Mark during Christmas break, and then we had a discussion. And what happened after that, about a week later, 2 weeks later, he mentioned that Coach Denok and we've been communicating that Coach Denok just had an amazing appreciation about my career in the Philippines, my knowledge about basketball, and then how much like the educational piece is important to me when it comes to university. So Coach Denok was asked the university, Boss Anton, could he be my understudy for a couple of years?
Okay.
So this doesn't happen without Coach Denok willing to step aside and say, "Hey, I really love Sean. I love what he brings to the table. He's very dynamic. He loves the country. He loves the people, and the people in the Philippines love him back. I think this is a win-win for all of us. We can get him, but let's make him the head coach and let me assist him, and I grow in my basketball career as a coach."
How long did it take you to make the decision to say yes?
Within 20 minutes when they presented it to me, I was like, oh my God. I mean, but I was kind of blindsided because I didn't know that's what we were going to have a meeting about. So I was kind of shook by it. So then, of course, I reached out to Tim Cone, asked his opinion, and I reached out to Jojo Lastimoso and Dickie Bachman. And then really the one who kind of also I needed the final blessing was for me was WSU. So I talked to all my guys, and when I was able to talk to Fred kind of laid down a lot of guidelines that he wanted to see because Fred is very protective of me. He's very protective of my career there. He's very protective of what I've achieved outside of basketball back here in the States. And I thank him so much for always being in my corner and supporting me, even at, 21 years after my retiring for basketball. So those guys are very big to me. They're very important in this decision. And but when Fred said, "Okay, I think this is the right move for you," because there were other offers that he did not agree to, and he wouldn't sign off, even though it's ultimately my final decision. But Mr. Wheaton was very important to me in this process.